what's going on. So you're going right through the terrain. It's so weird.
Just up in the table.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna yell at both of you.
That's fine. You'd be just like
cross
right
your
now.
arms. You better not.
Welcome, gamers. Today, this is episode 6 of our podcast. Today, we have a new member here. He's our streamer. This is Ryan.
Hi, I'm
And
Ryan.
you know us. You know the two of us. So today we'll be talking mainly and be playing Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. So that's just what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you gotta get out.
Yeah, so if you don't like it, too bad.
Wait.
This is what we're doing.
Don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave.
Don't pull.
So
Don't be my dad.
Eric, we unfortunately we didn't put out on our Instagram to get any questions or topics. That was all AJ's fault.
It was a busy week.
It was a busy week, which is fine. So we're gonna go off the hip a little bit today. So we're gonna be talking about the VGAs.
Mm-hmm.
Eric watched them, and there were some cool world premieres, a whole bunch of different stuff. Ryan, you should come into the frame right here. There you go. Professional.
Streamer.
It doesn't have a camera.
I don't use a webcam. That was bothering me.
But as we're going through, we'll be playing a little bit of Super Smash Brothers. We'll be fighting against each other, and yeah. So, Eric, what you got? How are the VGAs?
All right, so the VGAs are slowly not becoming the cringe show that it used to be, where people would just assume what they knew was relatable. So that's good. The pre-show was really lackluster. I'm assuming that's because, it's a pre-show. They kind of just threw Jeff Keighley up there, and he was just, I don't know how to explain. He was just kind of vamping and waiting until it started. But I think that it's becoming less of an award show and more of like the replacement for E3. Which is good, because I think E3 is more of an investor thing, and the Video Game Awards would be more for the fans that actually care. So, pretty cool thing they started with was they had Reggie, they had Phil Spencer and Layden up there. So that if you don't know, that's the Nintendo representative is Reggie, and then Xbox would be Phil Spencer, and then Sony's would be Layden. So they had like this weird conversation where they each spoke in tandem. So it was like Reggie would say it was.
Yeah, I saw like little clips of it, and I was like, that was pretty cringy.
Yeah. See that's
but it was pretty cool that all three of them came out.
Yeah, it was really cool because I just wanted to celebrate. But it was, that's why they're CEOs or, Nintendo. Yeah. They're like that because they're not supposed to be doing these weird things where they have to talk with other people. They had a live orchestra, which was awesome.
Wasn't the
Hans Zimmer?
Yeah, Hans Zimmer,
Which was amazing.
Composer?
Yeah, he was composing.
Yeah.
They had another person, I forget their name, but they were the
I was thinking director, but
the
I was like, who
soloist,
leads an orchestra? I can't remember. I'm not musically inclined.
So they started off with, after all that was over, they started off with the best narrative, and Red Dead Redemption 2 won, of course, because they won. They won a total of four awards, and ones that didn't have to do with, or ones that did with non-AAA titles, they obviously weren't in, so I think that's 1, 2, 3. So out of about 10, 15 awards, they won 4, which isn't bad. I thought it would be a little bit more dominated by them, especially since they just came out recently.
I mean, certain I definitely know, like, this is, I'm sure eventually there's going to be a lot more awards for different things in the games. But I don't know. It's like you were saying. Yeah, you're right. It's kind of becoming different. It's more about the releases.
Yeah, it's a new breed of award show.
Yeah,
Slowly evolving.
It's evolving, yes. Which I think it, it's doing a pretty good job for what it's doing. So after the first award was announced, they had a couple things. They talked about Greg Thomas, who is an industry icon. I forgot what he worked on, which is bad because, that's the whole point of it. And then they moved on to a couple things. Like in between, they'd have things about like Able Gamers talking about how they found video games and It helped them get through tough times, which is cool because it's more of a, again, it's celebrating the players. It's not really celebrating the investors. No one's looking for money here. They're just kind of they enjoy what they do and they want to share with people, which is amazing. And then they went to they announced Rocket League DLC, which was a McLaren.
Yeah,
which is really, it looked really nice.
It looks nice, but I was just like, I'm waiting for them to actually put real cars in it. I think like
they have a couple.
They have a couple.
Yeah, I think Ford has a couple on there.
No, they actually Dodge.
Oh, it was Dodge
for Fast and Furious.
Mm-hmm. And then they moved on to Christoph Waltz came out with another actor I forget the name of, but she's in an upcoming movie where they're like androids and they had like a scene and they were fighting and it looks cool. I forgot what the movie's called. But Christoph Waltz came on and he looked.
Oh, that's oh my god, Akira or something.
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, like a battle.
Battle Angel Akira or something. That's what it looks cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah. But like Christoph Waltz, they were trying to do this bit. And it like fell flat. I don't know. It fell flat on its face. I don't know why they don't just come up and do what they gotta do. I know he was there just to promote the movie, so that's great. But he like came off super creepy. But forget about that. So they did Best Performance, which was Roger Clark, who did the voice for Arthur in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yes.
Which I think he did great. And
yeah.
He sounded, he had like the southern twang when he was up there.
Yeah.
When he was accepting the award, and he was really excited. So that's I know voice actors because I watch Critical Role where they play D&D, and all the voice actors they're all super nerdy, and I'm sure he's probably part of that group. They all have like this close knit relationship where they all appreciate each other and they know, which is great. So I'm glad he won. He was good. And Kratos' voice actor was one of the people they.
The guy from Stargate.
Stargate. He's got a really deep voice. And they also did. I know there's a couple up there, but another one was the person who did Spider-Man's voice acting, which was, they were all great. I think all Spider-Man, God of War, and Red Dead Redemption 2 obviously are going to be the three that are pushed up to the.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
So they're probably, for anything that had AAA, they were most likely right in there. And I think Assassin's Creed, the female voice actor was in there. I keep forgetting.
Oh yeah,
I should have wrote their names down.
The person that plays Alessandra or
Alexis, or I don't know.
Alexia.
Alexia, yeah. That game looked fun, but I just got so burnt out of Assassin's Creed games. And
don't get me wrong, it's a good game. I enjoyed it. I didn't play a lot of it because there were so many other games that were coming out.
Yeah, there's too many games right now.
I only played, let's see, I played for 1, 2, and I stopped because after Enzo was kind of out, I never really enjoyed it. Ezio, sorry. Yeah, after Ezio was out, I didn't really enjoy it. Because, I liked the whole third one with when you build your own settlement and everything, but it's just
the second one I liked when you had this side thing for you had assassins that would go out and get you materials. Yeah, I thought that was cool.
Revelations, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think it was Revelations.
Making bombs and lamb's blood.
Yeah, it was cool. I like that, but then I stopped playing. Then they moved on to a couple of game announcements. So they announced Far Cry New Dawn, which is Far Cry's take on post-apocalyptic scenery or scenarios. Yeah. They looks like they have a lot of reused assets from Primal because of course you still have your pet in 5. But I think that's really, it's really out there. But I mean, people like the engine that play the game, they love the engine, so I don't see why they would mess with it.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
It's just a change of scenery. People would argue maybe it's it should just be a DLC of using the same engine and everything here. But they put a lot of time into the story. I know Far Cry 5 was a really great game. I have a friend that played hundreds of hours in it, so that's cool. I think it was more of I know it's not really a shot at Fallout since they obviously had the idea and they've been working on it.
Yeah.
But this is probably their take on that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think you're also a bad, quote unquote bad guy in this. You
play
part,
as
I think you're part of the invading cult or whatever. So that's cool. Maybe you have a coming of age thing, and then you realize, oh, this is bad. I shouldn't do this anymore. And then you fight them. I think they're twins. They were twins. So there's the psychopath in this one has a twin sister. So that's gonna be cool. I don't know where they're gonna take that. They're gonna take that. So I'm excited for that. I'm probably gonna pick that one up, even though the last one I played was Blood. What was it called?
Blood Moon.
Yeah, was it Blood Moon? No, it wasn't Blood Moon. It was the one with like the retro and T-Rex.
Yeah. Blood Dragon or something.
Blood Dragon.
Operation Blood Dragon.
Yeah.
Because that's what I was gonna say when you said
that one I liked. I like that one better than the actual original Fallout 3. So that's not
4, 3.
No, it was 3's DLC.
Oh, it was 3?
Yeah, it was 3's DLC. Not Fallout. I'm sorry. Far Cry. That's fine. Yeah. It was Far Cry 3's DLC. Then they announced Hades, which is an isometric roguelike. It's just like classic roguelike. You die, you respawn, and you work on that. Then that has something to do with what Epic Games brought to the table, because they were really interested in. I think they're trying to take what Fortnite has brought them up to, where people all have the Epic game launchers now.
Yeah.
They're probably realizing that people download Fortnite and that's it.
Yeah.
So now they're gonna say, hey, we have all these customers and consumers, and they're only playing Fortnite and buying Fortnite skins and whatnot. And why don't we actually make this launcher popular and be some sort of a competitor to Steam? Because I know EA has Origin, Ubisoft has Uplay, and now Epic Games with Fortnite is gonna try and take the mantle here and take it away from Steam, because Steam has been, they've been out for how long? Since like 2007.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And you guys are the PC gamers.
They've been out for forever, and they didn't really update. It's still slow. You like when you click onto the store page, it loads, and like a lot of these other launchers are like super
faster and a lot
they're
easier.
fast, simpler. They look nicer, and it's
less difficult.
And now what Epic Games is going to be doing is, I believe they're doing a lower percentage of what Steam takes, because Steam takes 30% from the developer, which is a lot, especially if you're indie. Well, if you're indie, it's not bad. And if you're a AAA developer, especially like for Ubisoft or EA, they're offering this, Uplay or Origin. They're like, use ours, and we won't take 30% from you. And of course, that business is going to want to make as much money as they can. But I don't think people have Origins installed or use it other than just an EA game based.
Yeah, I have Origins, but I don't really.
You're only going to buy exclusives.
Yeah,
if anything.
Yeah, exactly. Or like the good thing about like Origins or EA Access, because that's I just moved right off the stage.
Don't worry, I've been doing this constantly.
But doing that is really good, especially if, like for me, EA Access is really cool because I get to play the games, like the EA games, way early.
Now imagine EA Access had things that were not just EA exclusives.
Yeah.
Like, let's say there was a game coming out that you're really interested in, and it wasn't an EA exclusive, and they said, oh, with EA Access, you're going to be able to play this a week early.
Yeah.
And Steam's sitting there like, oh, this is bad. So we got to keep an eye on Epic Games as they're trying to move in to take over Steam. Also, I believe if you use Unreal, the Unreal Engine, they'll give you they'll either give you a deal or something just so that you're using their engine as well. So they have like their full custody of this of the market.
Yeah.
So they really want to. They're pushing to get developers and indie developers onto their side. So
which is good. I mean, I think it's just going to help the industry, especially.
And it's giving Steam some competition,
yeah,
which it really doesn't have at this point. So that's going to be good for anybody involved.
Not to mention, sorry to cut you off.
No,
Epic Games. Do you have the launcher?
I do have the launcher installed, but I don't use it.
So I've played the other games on their launcher, and I don't remember what the name of the game is called. I believe it's called not Dauntless, Ruthless or something like that. It's where you can pick like your own champion. You start going in like 5v5. It's like League of Legends but third person.
Okay.
And I'm kind of happy that they're coming out with. Kind of happy, not happy at the same time because I use Steam constantly.
Yeah.
But they're coming out with like. I'm happy they're coming out with new games because the games that they have on there now, besides Fortnite, aren't very well known and they're not very well developed. Like, for example, Dauntless.
Well, they probably, if EA is funding, or not EA, if Epic Games are funding them, which they might not be, they're probably just doing it so they have some sort of exclusives on there. They're probably not doing it too much because the Fortnite just is printing money at this point. So maybe now that they're focusing on moving people to the Epic Game Launcher, they actually will focus on making sure that there's quality content on there
instead of like
and I know that I don't know. Like, give it a year, and this will be a super prominent discussion.
Yeah, I mean, look at nobody thought Fortnite was gonna when it first came out, like, because it was the Save of the World edition. Nobody thought it was gonna take off like this.
No, not at all.
With the popularity of these battle royales, I think is just.
I think it's ascended past the battle royale at this point. It's like
it's like a cult. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, it's really crazy.
It's a
I mean,
at this point,
at this rate, it's like, I mean,
I don't want to call it cult. I would say it's more like meme culture.
No, but I'm saying you could argue.
No,
like
it's past meme culture.
Yeah, okay, fine. That's the new thing. But when I was a kid, it was more of a cult classic or something like that. It was something that took off that really wasn't really popular. Like, it was kind of alright.
Popular in its own group.
Yeah, it was popular in its own group. And there was a lot of
money.
Well, no, but like, look at Crow, or like these movies that are cult classic.
Yeah, just takes a while to build. But
exactly.
Fortnite was different.
But Fortnite, when it first came out, it was a Save the World edition. Nobody really was like, it's alright, cool, it's kind of fun. But then, as soon as they released the free battle royale thing, people just went nuts with it because it's so different. Because you're adding that building aspect and the verticality and all that stuff, which I get. But it's just like, to me, I'm just like, it's a fun game, but it's just, for me, it's not that great. I mean, the fact of the matter that they changed the seasons, how
they're on season 7 now.
Yeah, but they're on season 7. So like, how many? I think it's like every 60 days.
Yeah, it's short.
It's every 60 days to 90 days.
Yeah, maybe like 3 months.
Yeah, I think it's either 3 months or just shy of 3 months. But I'm like, all they do is really just change little aspects of the map.
But that's all people want.
Which is fine. But I like what PUBG does. PUBG is more, okay, well, we're going to make sure that all of these maps, we have 3 or 4 different maps, give the people something different instead of the same thing all the time. And I hope EA is looking at this, because that's probably why they pushed back their Battle Royale, which is Firestorm, on Battlefield 5. I think that's why they're doing it. They're seeing how all of these other companies last, and they're going to probably take something from each one of these and then implement it into their game, which is going to be good, I think. So, we'll see. Time will tell. I mean, I still think that the Battle Royale thing is kind of getting...
It's on the down
spiral. It's on the downward.
Not spiral, but it's
the
on
bubble's
the downward
about to burst.
That's how I feel. I mean, I still feel like, I mean, people are gonna keep making it popular. If Ninja and all these other clans are still playing it,
Optic Phase, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, if they're all still playing it, it's still gonna be there, mainstream.
I mean, the esports scene for it is awkward, because it's like you have to play and then win in a separate game, and then you guys.
Yeah,
it's really awkward.
You have a qualifying.
You have to get a specific amount of kills, and
it's
hard to watch.
Yeah.
Which is not good for esports.
No,
I guess it's good to win money and say you're good and to play in, but I don't think it's good to watch, which is what people watch esports for.
Well, yeah, I'd watch. I'll sit there. Like, I'm not good at Overwatch, but I've watched a couple of the pro matches, and it's crazy. Like, some of the things I'm like, wow, like, that's crazy. Like, I wasn't expecting that. But like I don't really watch. I know you watch.
I watch more a lot of esports,
esports than I do. I've watched a couple like online tournaments of like Smash and something else. Like that's something is a little easier to follow just because.
Yeah, they have I think Smash. Well, they typically did weeklies. I think they're working on rebranding. Like VG Bootcamp is really good one. They did like weeklies of Melee. Just during the downtime, when there wasn't like tournaments going on, and it's cool to just see like locals. Which everybody, at the end of the day, everybody's just gonna shake hands and walk away. It's not that big.
Speaking of tournaments,
we
have a Smash Bash that we are going to be hosting with our friends at SharePlayer 1 and Sector 7 Item Shop. Stop! I can hit the table. Okay? No, it's mine.
You're not editing. That's right.
But we finally figured out a name. We got to figure out a date. But now that we have our hands on Smash Ultimate, we will figure out what we're going to do. It's going to be 2-on-2s. And we're going to have a ladder going up. And then whoever has a champion gets a trophy. And all the proceeds, any money that is raised, is going straight to charity. So we will be there. We will be here. Eric will be probably announcing for a lot of it. But
I hope this will be fun.
and he's also going to be playing it. So we're gonna have a good time with it.
I can do both at the same time.
Yeah. Well, because I think
that would be pretty interesting to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I wipe the floor with it goes on.
And there it goes in.
Oh, that's a call out. But yeah. So what else do we have from the VGAs? I mean, I know we were at certain points. So.
We hit. They showed Hades, which was one of the first things they showed for the Epic Games launcher exclusive. I think it's only exclusive for that's a different game. I think Hades is exclusive just to Epic Games launcher.
And didn't it get announced? Didn't it drop that same day?
Yes, I think it dropped.
So it dropped on Friday. We're recording this.
Hades did. Yeah.
Yeah, we're recording this on the 8th. Hey, today is the 8th. Yep, 9th. I'm sorry.
Yeah, today's the 9th.
So we're recording this on the 9th. So it came out a couple days ago.
It came out. What was it? 2 days ago. Well,
a couple days ago.
That's 2. That's 2 is a couple. Yes. I'm sorry. I don't remember this game. I'm gonna skip that. Forza was announced, or
a new DLC.
Yeah, and I mean, people that play it.
I love Forza. I think it's.
I mean,
great.
that was.
I didn't see the trailer, but it's gonna be like another one of those things where you go into it, and then it alters the whole area, kind of like what the Hot Wheels pack did in Horizon 3.
So that was one of the only things I think Xbox even showed. Then there was a couple more games that I don't remember, so I'm gonna skip those. And then they had they just shot out a bunch of best awards. I don't know why he just did all of them. He did all of them in like one go. They kind of just awkwardly threw Jeff Keighley up, and he was kind of like
he just went off.
So they had the best score music. Well, this one. Jeff Keighley was just like blah 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 blah. He talked to the developer, do this, do that, and then they had the the best score music, and the best audio design, and both of those went to Red Dead Redemption 2. So that's a good way to start it off: is give 3 to Red Dead Redemption 2 right away, and make sure that people understand that they're going to be really biased to that. But that wasn't the case for the rest of the show though. But it just kind of seemed like that, especially as a viewer, you just feel like, oh, it's just going to be the Red Dead Redemption 2 show. So right after that, they followed up with 2 things that didn't include Red Dead Redemption 2, which was a good idea. And that was Best Mobile Game, which went to Florence. And Best Art Direction went to Return of Obra Dinn. And then the Best VR Game went to
Astrobot, yeah.
Astrobot Rescue Mission.
It looked really cool, that Astrobot.
I don't have a VR. I don't have enough room for it. But I played VR a couple times, and I'm a big fan of it. Not enough to spend the money on it and move around all my stuff.
I think the option of having it for on the PS4 is kind of cool. I think that's really an interesting fact. I'm surprised that Microsoft hasn't come out with something. Or like I know they were in the talks that like the Oculus Rift would work on it, but there was nothing else there. Like,
do you think that VR like? I'd like to relate it to the Wii a little bit, where the Wii had this remote that was like cool game design elements, but like who worked on it other than Nintendo first party stuff?
Yeah.
No, it's not developer friendly VR because
no, it's not.
If you do sell one, you have a percentage of a smaller percentage of people that own it.
Yeah.
So it's like even if they do decide to buy your game, you still have this tiny little market you're pertaining to.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think VR is good for the people that are really into VR, but again, it's not going to get a lot of support from anybody that isn't a super VR. They're like not super into VR, especially developers. Now there's a lot of cool games for VR.
Like the Rick and Morty one and the Hot one.
Yeah, there's a lot of
I want to try that Trover's Universe. That looks fucking.
I forget what it's called, but there's this one that's just like you're at a firing range and it has like all these guns and stuff. I played that thing for like 2 hours at my friend's house. I was really into it. I don't know why. It was just like fun to just sit there and mess around with it.
Yeah, go through the different guns and stuff.
Yeah, it's just like, and then you could just then you had like this ammo. I wish I remember the name of the game, but you had this ammo bag right here.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And I just started going like that, and you just throw ammo. It's so fun.
And you could play it online. And, like I would walk up, like take your friends like a magazine from them. And they're like, "Why is my gun fire? Why did you take the magazine?"
And then I played on just the local one, and you could just like. You could spawn stuff in, so I spawned in these boxes, and you could just throw them. It's like I don't know what I was doing, but it was fun. Then they had Warframe got announced for the Switch.
Or like a release date?
Yeah, I think it was a release.
They announced it, or maybe it was released.
I don't think it's out yet. I think it's January. I think they said. I should have wrote down the dates, and I feel bad for not doing it, but that's something you could look into. Then they played a couple of ads. They played a Dead by Daylight ad, which is I mean, it was kind of an ad. It wasn't really like an announcement. They just played it in between times where they're transitioning, and they're giving a new character that from the trailer it looks like they can disguise themselves as a survivor. Which is really cool. I played a couple rounds of that game, but it's like I was way over my head because the people that were playing it were just so much better than me, so I kind of got a little intimidated. But it's fun I watched a couple people stream it, and like if they're really good at it, and it's just fun to watch them.
Yeah.
So that new character looks fun. Anthem got a release date. It's February, or a release month. I don't think they had a day.
I thought it said February something.
I think it did. I didn't write it down though. I was too excited for the anti-vaping ads that they played also.
Well, do you vape, Eric?
No, I don't vape.
Well, not after those ads you
Yeah, they said don't get tricked because you're 4 times more likely. I remember this because you're 4 times more likely to start smoking cigarettes when you vape. And then they had a bunch of flash imagery and then like orange and dots coming across and it was like truth and then whatever.
That sounds more like an acid commercial.
Then maybe. Then after Anthem, they showed they had a trailer before the release date, so they didn't show any gameplay because you know what everybody likes to do. They like to take EA games being shown at live events, and then they like to take the EA games while they're playing it, and then compare the two. So I'm sure they just tried to not do that, especially because it's got to be very close to this point of being finalized. So, and then. A special visitor came up to Jeff Keighley, Keighley. You got me messed up because you called him Jeff Knightley before. Jeff Keighley, and there was a big crate, a Crash Bandicoot crate, and then my man Crash Bandicoot came up in the side, the one from the old ads where the guy's face was in it. That Crash Bandicoot came up, and it was so cool. Everybody was having a great time, and then what does he pull out of that crate? A Crash
trophy.
Team Racing trophy. And Crash Team Racing was one of my favorite kart games from back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I was horrible at the other ones like Mario Kart. So I played the dookies out of that one.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I've hit it 3 times so far, and I don't know how.
Really? Dick.
I'm King K. Rool, man. I can help you.
He's easy. That's all you gotta do in this game is just play heavy hitters. You don't die, and you hit really hard.
And I mean, if I jump off, hey, it's my fault.
Oh boy.
Like that? Okay, what was I talking about? So Crash Team Racing, let's go. Crash Bandicoot making a resurgence. They're probably going to make a new one and ruin it. So let's figure that one out. The 2 voice actors for God of War, the voice actor for Kratos and the voice actor for Arturus came up to announce the best content creator of the year, which was just loaded with Fortnite streamers, which is awesome. You know, there's all these YouTube people that have been making it right.
Yeah, whatever.
When they went to go announce it, the voice actor for Arturus, I wish I had their names on. He had the note in his hand, and then the Kratos' voice actor will read it, boy, which was a really quirky, fun moment. His voice actors are great. And then they moved on to one of the more hyped games that got announced was. Right after this, and it was The Outer Worlds, which is made by the minds behind Fallout and the ones that most recently made Fallout. I guess not recently. They made Fallout New Vegas, Obsidian, and to me it looks like Rage and Borderlands with the RPG elements of Fallout. Yeah, and it
looks interesting.
Yeah,
it definitely looks like it's also taking. Well, I guess we're gonna have to see more gameplay because it looks like a ripoff of Destiny from what I saw. Because it looks like it has that like.
I didn't get any Destiny vibes.
I don't know. The trailer you showed us right before we started filming, I felt like it was Destiny, like with new characters and like more of a steampunky
But it has like it looked like the quirkiness of Borderlands characters, but like a little bit more interactive.
Yeah.
Because like Borderlands characters, they just sit there and then they say their lines and they don't move or anything.
Yeah, that's
like Claptrap.
Yeah, Claptrap's like the only dynamic one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that game I feel like is getting a lot of hype, and I look on the gaming subreddit and there's a lot of people like, don't pre-order this, don't do that, and it's like I know we're all hyped, but I didn't get too super hyped about it.
Yeah.
It looks alright. I don't see why it's gonna be bad. Dauntless, I think, is officially getting released. So they talked about that. Again, another chalk one up for the Epic Games launcher.
It definitely needs work, though.
Yeah. I know Dauntless it came out a little bit before Monster Hunter.
It came out before, like 2 months, 3 months before, and I had gotten... So my friend Noah, his brother Key, works for Epic. So he gets like all these early access stuff.
Oh, nice.
And he gave me one of the keys, and he was like, oh, you'll like it if you like Monster Hunter. I don't like Monster Hunter at all. Sorry. I don't like Monster Hunter because the health bars, it bothers me. Because I need justification of how low something is.
But instead of seeing
that makes it... I mean, they give you a lot of stuff. Again, it's not super explained to you, but like you can tell based on their heartbeat.
Yeah, but Dauntless definitely has its issues. My major one so far is... If anyone's ever played Dark Souls...
I don't know.
You have, but like, you'll roll into it, and when you roll into it, you go into the terrain by accident, or if you're doing something and you're not paying attention, you can jump off a cliff. Because you're...
I don't know.
Yeah, but like, the weird part is you'll like jump off a cliff, but there's an object right there that's supposed to stop you, like a mountain, and you're like, what's going on? So you're going right through the terrain. It's so weird.
Just up in the table.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna yell at both of you.
That's fine. You'd be just like...
cross your arms. You better not. So then they had The Last Campfire, which looked pretty cool. That's another Epic Games launcher thing for Hello. It's Hello Games is making that, and you like, I don't explain it. It's kind of like Journey. You know, Journey. You play this like human-like character. I think this one you look like a sack potato man, but not like the other sack potato man game. But you're in this little boat and you're like paddling. And then they showed him like dropping the paddle, and it was funny. But it looked really cool. It looks like just like you know like one of those games where you just take in the surroundings. The music was amazing on it. I really like the music there. So that looks pretty cool. It looks they said a short. It looked like it said short, like, so I guess it's a short experience game, which is fine. Like I'll pay $10 for a 2 to 3 hour game. Just if I enjoy it, if I enjoy it, it's not too long. That's fine with me. I don't mind that, especially if it's got great music. So right after that, they announced Best Esports Player. So there were a lot of good people up there. And if you're not part of if you don't follow the fighting game community,
Ninja won.
No, Ninja didn't win Best Esports Player. He's not even signed to a team. He makes too much money streaming. But if you're not,
you can afford to have his hair blue all the time.
Constantly.
it's not blue. It's like a teal.
Whatever.
Well, now he's just like...
follow him on Twitter.
He's like
No,
he's like a Slim Shady wannabe at this point. Cause
All right,
just
you guys are
bleaches it.
flaming Ninja, and I
No,
think
no,
he did
I
a
hate
great
Ninja.
job catering to his audience by hanging out with the Muppet.
13-year-olds?
Yeah. So they announced Sonic Fox was the best esports player. Who he plays for Echo Fox, and he was like, I think he was top 10, or he definitely played in 3 different games during this last Evo in 2018. And he he was like at least top 10, 15 for at least I think it's Mortal Kombat, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball FighterZ he took first. I don't remember where he took Mortal Kombat, and I think there was another game he played that wasn't on the main stage, but he took almost first in that. But people that don't understand or don't know who he was, like I've known him for at least 2 years. Not known him, but I've seen him play for at least 2 years, so you already know who it is, so I didn't get that shock value. But he's a gay black furry, in his own words.
So he came up in a full like
black
furry.
it's not a full fursuit.
It was just a head, and I was like, I saw it, and I was like, what the?
See, and Joe McHale was up there like, man, I'm so glad to be back. I don't know who invited me back, and then they're like, then they throw Sonic Fox out, and he's like, oh. He's probably did not know who Sonic Fox was. He was just up there to be a comedian about it. And he was funny. He did good too. But Sonic Fox came up. I don't think he expected to win, especially since they probably didn't want to show... He probably thought that Sonic Fox didn't want to be up there, Oh, we can't show Sonic Fox. This is going to be cringy and weird, and just, I don't know. People are going to be upset. But since I've already known who Sonic Fox was for at least 2 years, it didn't really hit me with the shock value.
Yeah.
And if anybody follows the fighting game community, everybody already knows who he is, most likely, because he's almost the head of the fighting game community at this point, just because he's so outstanding at the games and both personality-wise. But I can understand why all these people are pointing to this and being like, they're still cringy, because I enjoyed his speech, except for that last part where he's like, I'm a black gay furry, everything a Republican hates. Which was kind of like, why'd you say that? You're doing so good. But he was really excited. He also mentioned how he's raising money for getting his friend's dad through terminal, or I don't think it's terminal, but it's like stage 3 cancer.
Yeah.
So I was like, he was like, he's a cool guy. If you look past that first part, which doesn't bother me, but I can see where it bothers some people.
Well, it's just like I didn't know the context. I didn't know the context behind it.
Yeah.
So I saw it and I'm like,
yeah, it kind of hits you right in the face.
Yeah, I was like, what is this?
When he wins, it's still kind of weird. To me, it's a little weird, even though I already knew who he was. But he won this past Evo. I think it was Dragon Ball FighterZ. When he went up, he had his fursuit on, which his fursuit is just his. He's got gloves down to his shoulders, and then I don't know what it's called. I think it's a hat or.
Because I keep seeing YouTube videos of a guy in that, and I'm like,
that's
that would
Sonic
make
Fox,
sense now. Okay.
So, like when he accepted his award, it was too big for his head, so he just put it on his nose, like his fursuit nose, and then he like shook hands with everybody. I mean, people know he's good at the games, and he can do whatever he wants.
Now, does he fight with the hat?
No, he sometimes he has the gloves on, but he doesn't. He takes the hat off. But when he goes up, he like promotes his persona.
His persona.
His persona. That's what you call it.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Yeah, but that was cool. I thought it was cool.
So let's I think because we also had Share Player 1 Carlos from Share Player 1. He actually also went in depth and gave some of his opinions on it. He wrote an article for it.
Yeah, check that out.
So definitely check it out. It's on all4gamers.com. So Eric, this is more of like our first reaction because I personally, me and Ryan, we didn't watch it. So we're learning about, like, I saw some of the world premieres. I didn't see who won a lot of these things. So like even though I read that article, like I didn't get to see a lot of the cringy things, and I like hearing your opinion versus Carlos's because you guys both saw it. So there's different things, which is nice. So I think we should go over some more highlights.
You want to wrap it up?
Kind of, just because it's been going on, we're almost at like an hour.
You want to do like we could do like a flash round. All right, ready? PUBG has a winter update. Devil Trigger was performed live. It was awesome. The Arc developers have a new game coming out called Atlas. It is set in like steampunky, like early England. Epic Games really showed up for their store, and it's trying to make it more than Fortnite. Steam had nothing, which is bad. The 3 games, Ashen, Hades, and the game from... Oh, no, sorry. Ashen, Hades, and Hello Neighbor are all available on the Epic Games launcher. That's great. Crackdown 3 is going to be on the Xbox Game Pass. As soon as it comes out, it's going to be...
it's going to be released on Game Pass.
It's going to be released on Game Pass. Best indie debut is given to The Messenger, which is like an 8-bit, 16-bit
Yeah, we've
mix.
talked about that before.
Okay.
That's AJ's favorite.
That game, I know my sister uses my Switch, and she bought that game, and I'm actually about to play that.
AJ was
when I'm not.
Guys in like an uproar with the hair. It was hysterical. I'm like, my God, you need to calm down. It's just hair, my guy.
Best fighting game was Dragon Ball FighterZ. Obviously, no doubt, because I think the only other one that came out was Blaze Blue Tag Team Battle,
which I think is bullshit. I think this should have won.
Blaze Blue?
No.
Oh,
Smash
wasn't out yet.
I know, it came out the same day.
Like, he even mentioned to Reggie, he's like, Reggie, why are you here and not going to the release of Smash? He's like, because I'm great. So then the best strategy game was Into the Breach, which is cool. Yeah, he had a Smash t-shirt. And then the best strategy game was Into the Breach. That game looks really great.
I've played it. It's very like Super Nintendo-ish.
Yeah, it's got
but
that
I
element.
really like it.
I haven't seen it before that. I like the isometric square design. I like that a lot.
It's a really good game. That's one of the indie games that I played recently that I really enjoyed.
Dreadwolf Rises is a BioWare game. I forgot what it was, which is again bad that I forgot these things.
It's okay.
Is that bad on them or on me? That's the real question. But then
ban
the
on
real
them because it's not memorable.
the real highlight was when Ninja was up with my boy Pepe the Prawn, the best Muppet in my opinion.
This is going right to a pun.
And he was taking shelfies and he was playing fork knife. Guy's a killer.
You guys are allowed to close this video out.
Then
If you guys want to hear me rant on another podcast, just wait.
what's wrong with? All right, he's popular, and there's
Ninja?
some highlights of him yelling at girls and little kids,
Yeah,
And then
Anyway.
uninstalling his game because
And then
he gets frustrated when
also
when he
yelling
loses.
at.
Can we do a podcast where we just make fun of Ninja? I'm fine
And
with
then
that.
he may or may not have yelled at Epic Games for not promoting his channel. That's something.
Who cares?
Best indie game was given to Celeste.
You're making so much money as a streamer. Who the hell cares?
He, just real quick, side note, sorry about this.
Mhm.
I did math on streaming and what's livable and what's not livable. As long as you have a 100 viewer count, if that's all it takes, you have a 100 viewer count, you can live off that. Ninja has maybe 13,000 people watching him constantly.
Like just stream on in the background.
Just stream on, not even that. Like,
Not even when he's streaming, it's just on at all times.
yeah, you could he's making more, he should not be complaining about his channel. I'm sorry, he's making way too much money.
I mean, it's a lot of stress though because he's playing a dying game, but that's another story.
well, he's dying himself, that's why he changed his hair color.
Best indie game was Celeste, which I have seen reviews and I've seen gameplay.
It
and
looks good. I haven't
Those
bought it.
platformers, if I go way too hard in them and I get angry, so
I like how these platformers or these games are just making a resurgence.
Yes.
And I mean the fact of the matter that Celeste was also up for Game of the Year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's huge.
Now Celeste also had an impact on mental health because I remember when they came up, I didn't know about this, but when they came up and they had their whole dev team up there, or almost the whole dev team, they were talking about how if the game has helped you at all, just remember you're a great person and there's.
Well, I think because it's got the dual personality.
Yeah.
I think that's why it's like the bipolarness.
Yeah.
was
I
also
don't
given-
know. I haven't played the game,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think I think it's because it is the bipolarness.
It
or
was
something
also
like that.
given the best impact, the game with the best impact, which is that's probably a good reason why it was given Game of the Year because it had some sort of subset thing other than just gameplay.
Well, yeah, it was nominated.
There was The Pathless, which I don't remember. Survived By, I do remember, because it showed like a quirky trailer where you spawn as the first version of your character, then you run out and die. Then the second version, like if I named mine Sir Knightington the first, then he'd die, his son or his
Sir Knightington
successor
the
would be
second.
Sir Knightington the second.
Second.
And then you keep
Hyphen
going from
Junior.
there. Yeah, and then you
Hyphen Junior.
and then you go, and then you keep going on. I'm pretty sure when you do upgrades, you keep them, but that'll give you a count of how many times you died. So that's like another roguelike that looks really cool. They had a Red Dead Redemption 2 live. What's it called? The orchestra performed Red Dead Redemption 2's soundtrack, just sounds from the game live, which was cool. They had it's great. I recommend you watch it. The only thing is, I think it went on a little too long. It was like 7 or 8 minutes, maybe longer.
Yeah.
Then we have Stranger Things, the two brothers that made the game, made the show, came out and they announced a Stranger Things game, which looks pretty cool. It's like isometric, 16-bit beat 'em up.
Yeah,
it looks fun. Then Ed Boon came out to announce the best sports/racing game.
Yeah, I saw that.
Mario
That was
Kart.
cool.
Yeah, and Mario Kart won. No, not really. But he came out, which obviously should have triggered some red flags and be like, why is Ed Boon here and he's not announcing best fighting game or something? Because he lost. Then they decided they realized how boring that the best sports and racing game is, so they decided to play the Mortal Kombat 11. Or 2. Is it 2 or 11? I know it's 11, but it's also the second of the re-synergized Mortal Kombat.
Well, wouldn't it be the third one? Because the 9th and the 10th one follow each other, and then you go right to 11?
Okay, it's 11. So they showed that there's the lightning man with the cool rice hat, Raiden, and then Yellow Man with sword with fire.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, so it was Raiden fighting.
Oh, right. Let me
Who
explain
was
this because
Uh-oh.
I've been playing this game since I was 5 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I'm so lost. and I'm pretty sure they did a skin release during this, so I was pretty impressed. It's Raiden in his skin against Scorpion. Then he kills Scorpion. Then Scorpion comes back and goes...
From the original game.
and goes, hey, I'm not dead, let me kill you. Goes right through him and then kills Raiden. So, I mean, I'm okay with it. That's fine with me.
I thought it was cool.
I thought it was a really cool trailer.
I thought it,
but I liked how Raiden wasn't your tip, like, because you remember Raiden always had the white the suit with the white lightning.
The Earthrealm suit. That's his Netherrealm suit. So if you played,
so that's why he has the red lightning.
Yes. So if you played the one before this, which 10. Would be 10
or
X, if you played X or XL, if you played either one, he has costume changes, and that one's like his battle or evil armor, depending on what you want to call it. But in the 9th one, when he does it, he's fighting Shao Kahn. So he goes into his Netherrealm outfit to fight Shao Kahn. Then in the 10th one, he changes it back and forth when he's visiting Liu Kang, because at the end, he has the head of... I want to say it's Shao Kahn he has the head of. He drops it on the ground, looks at him, and goes, "We will not take no for an answer if you invade Earthrealm again." And then he zaps back out, and then that leads into what will be 11. So I can't wait.
Okay. That's cool.
I'm sorry, I like Mortal Kombat.
No, it's okay. They had Wu-Tang in the background, so that was cool. I like that part. And then they had the actual best sports racing game was Forza Horizon 4.
It was
good.
I love that. I like all the Forza games because they
or Mario Kart. Which one do you like better?
If I had to choose, I mean, Mario Kart's better with friends. Forza because
that was up for the best family game also, which lost.
I can definitely see that.
Unless you play Rainbow Road.
No, Rainbow Road I'll wreck everyone. 64 version. That was everybody hated playing that one. I was the only one that
I'm gonna look up cheese strat where you can skip half the thing and I'll be you.
You have to go halfway through the road, jump off, and
then you jump off the road and you can just keep going.
Lap 1, lap 2, lap 3. It's like 30 seconds. All right.
Next was Psychonauts 2 got a trailer, which I'm really excited for because I played the first one after... I didn't play when it originally came out, but I played it in like 2014, 2015, and I like those quirky platformer collectathons. I like that stuff. So it looks pretty good. Devil May Cry is getting an Xbox demo exclusive to Xbox.
Okay. Oh yeah, the new Devil May Cry 5, right?
I don't know if it's staying exclusive to Xbox or it's going later in a couple. Well,
yeah, probably it's one of those ones where it first comes out on Xbox, like Sony has all the things for Call of Duty.
Yeah,
like it's first on this, first on that.
I see. That was weird though, because he, I forgot his name. The guy who hosted it. I've been saying it all day.
Jeff Knightley.
Jeff,
whatever.
Keira Knightley. Yeah.
Keira Knightley was talking to Reggie Fils-Aimé and Phil Spencer, but your boy Layden wasn't up there at all. So I think PlayStation and Sony are just really waiting for the time they're going to have before E3 to even announce anything.
If you want to see something interesting, just refer back to our last episode when I had a rant about Sony. Just leave it right there.
Real quick.
Continue.
Eric's expression's amazing.
Yes, and that's the meme thumbnail.
Yeah, that was after we said we were gonna end the recording like 3 times before. Yeah. And you're like, I'm gonna talk about PlayStation.
Just real quick. I have one more thing. And by the way, the real thing that pisses me off, right? Goes right into
it. That only would have been like an hour or an hour and 10 minutes long.
Yeah, then it was an extra 45
minutes. I was in my math class. Listening to that, and I was dying laughing. And my teacher came up, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing. It's all right. Just don't worry about it. It's all right."
So after that,
our education system hard at work.
They announced the best game direction. I can't read my own handwriting, and that was given to God of War, which I love God of War. I don't know.
God of War was good.
Like the game direction, sound design. Oh yeah. The relationship between the two characters. It's like everything about it was just. I think it was pretty spot on.
Yep.
In the game direction too, because they didn't initially. I know we spoiled it before, but like they didn't initially give you 2 weapons to start with.
What's the time?
Oh, 21.
Okay.
So they didn't initially give you the 2 weapons to start with. So like right when you got used to using the axe, the Leviathan axe, for like hours of gameplay, they're like, "Oh, take this other weapon too. That'll help you with all the stuff the axe sucks with." And you're like, "All right." And then after that, they went to Fortnite Season 7. They announced that.
It released that same day.
Yeah, but then they showed like a trailer for it, so it was like everybody.
it was like the block mode That's what it's called.
Oh yeah. I skipped that.
Yeah. The block mode apparently is like where you can make a little creation.
Yeah, like
Oh,
creative
okay.
mode,
It's
yeah.
like a creative.
And then in game, every couple of hours, they're just taking whatever really cool creations that people have made, and they're putting it into this
I hope it's,
specific
like,
area.
I hope they like go through a filtration system, and it's not like
Well,
Bitcoin
yeah.
chat. Like, where
Well,
they,
no, but like remember
where they
when
pulled
when everybody was making llamas?
No, I
There
don't.
were-
I don't. Watch
I remember. I
shows,
remember.
so-
I remember when there was a time where people were actually making a llama out of all the wood and everything.
Yeah, or they
So-
would, like cover the whole map with wood and be like, how many trees does this take? All of them.
So they had like a little fun trailer for that. Then they went to Rage 2. It's getting released in May. It looks good because a lot of these first-person shooters are they're neglecting the fact that you have some sort of verticality to the game now because the shooters have been out for so long. It's just at this point I think it's getting a little boring just to be guy that runs from here to there while shooting people.
Yeah.
Because of reason for this A and X and B, Y. So that's cool to see like the verticality. And I played the original Rage and I thought it suffered from the fact that it was kind of boring and the fact that you would just walk up to a guy. I played at like a medium difficulty. I didn't play it. If you played at a harder difficulty, it's probably better. But I played at and then you just walk up to a guy, you shoot him, and then you loot stuff, and then you walk away. Except it was like Borderlands. It had a little bit less quirky characters, and it had no multiplayer. So it was like, why are you bother playing this game instead? Best ongoing game went to Fortnite, and it also got best multiplayer game, obviously. And then they announced the new character for the first DLC for Smash was Joker from Persona 5.
Don't know who that is.
I have not played Persona 5, but I have friends that are just really hyped for it. So I'm sure anybody who played... And again, Sakurai, he obviously plays these games, and he likes them, and he likes these character designs and everything, and he's just going to pull what he can, and I'm sure the people behind Persona were like, yeah, go for it. I don't care. What's up?
No, you know what I noticed, and I didn't think about it, but when you beat like one of the modes in Super Smash Brothers, just because they actually have a Bandai Namco.
Well, Pac-Man.
That's true. I forgot about
Yeah.
Pac-Man. But could that also open the door to like other fighters?
Solitaire?
I don't know. Maybe I was thinking more of the lines like Goku and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I think that would be cool.
Now,
That would be
what
interesting,
people keep forgetting, and they're still on this Waluigi shit, is that
He's gonna be in it.
he's not gonna be in it.
He's
Because
gonna be in it.
every
You
character
guys see the
coming
new
out,
trailers? Waluigi.
every character in the DLC they announced is gonna be from a new genre or a new game that they haven't introed
this is a new
before.
character. It's not gonna be
No,
Echo
it
Fido.
said no. It said from a new. It's a different game that hasn't already been put on here.
Are you sure?
Yes,
Are you sure?
that's 100%
Are
what
you
they
sure?
said. Yeah,
No,
unless
that's not-
Waluigi gets his own game and they pull Waluigi from that game, it's not happening. Like
I think he's-
even Gino, I think that with that logic, they're not going to be able to take him from a Mario game because they already exist.
Yeah, why is everybody like all on the hype for Gino? I don't
Because
get it.
he looks fun to play. And that's really what it comes down to, is whether or not they would be fun to play. Is Waluigi going to be more fun to play than Mario or Luigi? Probably not. Is this
I think it's
Persona
just
5
because
character,
he
is
would be-
Joker going to be fun? He
yeah.
looks really fun.
I just think it would be funny to see like.
Oh, I want to add a
Waluigi.
character to this. I want to pay $25 to get this new character because it's kind of fun to look
Yeah,
at.
that's true.
Yeah.
I'll get Waluigi just
They don't
to
care.
get
Piranha in it.
Plus, they also want to pull more people in, and the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that they already have are the ones begging
Well, I think
for
that's a good
Waluigi.
idea. Like, I mean, I personally, I think it should be pulling people from other games, like Persona.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think it's a
Like,
great idea.
I think I could see them pulling like if they really want somebody like Sam from Dragon Ball Z, shit, put Goku in it because I know that's what a lot of people. Are
Mr.
saying.
Popo.
Oh, Goku, I could see.
I
Mr.
could see-
I
Popo.
would play
Yeah.
Mr. Popo.
Yeah.
That would be hysterical.
He'd be a skin for Goku.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
pop sensu bean every 3
I
seconds.
thought Yamcha was going to be announced. I was really disappointed.
Yamcha's the best
You mean
character.
dead? Could you imagine if they put a sprite or an assist trophy and it's
Just
just
him,
Yamcha
man.
laying down dead?
You've lost 1,000 battles in a row to the Yamcha trophy. And then it's like, alright, you're kind of good. You won 1 out of like 10,000. It's Krillin. And you're like, okay, well.
Thank you.
All right.
Hey man, they're human, right?
So-
fuck off. Then after that, which was probably the biggest announcement or the most relatable announcement, especially since the game didn't release at that point, they went straight on to Game of the Year. which they had the orchestra back up again, and they played the themes from each game that flowed into each other. It was really nice.
Yeah, that was awesome.
If you're going to watch anything, please watch just that last part, just the Game of the Year part, because they had the theme, flowed right into the next theme. It was really nice.
Awesome.
And surprisingly, God of War won the whole thing.
I think, like for me, I wanted Spider-Man to win.
Yeah, Spider-Man got neglected that whole time. They didn't get a single thing.
Spider-Man could have won that, but I totally understand why God of War
won. Was
because God of War, like if those two games came out a year apart from each other,
absolutely,
Spider-Man would win every single.
Well, let's say Spider-Man came out last year, it would have won probably every single award.
Probably would have won everything.
If Red Dead Redemption 2 didn't come out this year, God of War would have won almost every award.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much Red Dead Redemption 2 and God of War fighting for first, and then Spider-Man was just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, hey,
it didn't get any love.
But God of War, like, I think it covered. I think Red Dead Redemption 2 also covers it. And including they have the fact that they have multiplayer. They cover all aspects of games, while Spider-Man has just the beat 'em up aspects.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah. I get where you're coming from with that, but I think the storytelling of the way that they did that game was really
for
well
what
done.
it is.
For what it was,
yeah,
it's an amazing game. Like I think
really nice.
it's a great game. I enjoy that. I enjoy the hell out of that game.
Okay, so
now we're going to have Eric play some Smash.
Yes, please.
Because he's been waiting diligently.
Do you want to take a short break here, and then we will?
Yeah, we can take a short break.
Take a little pee break.
Yeah, let's do that. So we're gonna take a pee break. We'll be right back.
Hey guys, the video cut out. We're gonna end it here. There was really nothing else after that other than some Smash gameplay. Just make sure to follow us on our socials. See you next time.